week. It's called The Power of Processes to Help You Create the Changes You Want. And it's actually a follow on from last week's live that I did, which was talking about committing to the changes that you really want. Because if you don't commit to those changes, if they don't align to your truth and your soul energy, then nothing ever changes, right? Nothing, you go through the year moaning and complaining about the same things. And even though you're trying to change things, nothing actually ever changes. So the first step always is to align to the truth and really come up what the things you want to change with conviction. Okay. And conviction is spelt with a capital C. It's like a spiritual instruction, actually. And when you work with conviction with a capital C, um, it means that you're manifesting of your desires, whatever your goals are, whatever the changes are that you want to create, those are likely to happen because of this conviction. It's aligned to the truth of you, it's aligned to your soul energy, it's aligned to all parts of you, physical, non physical, energetic, all of it. It's all aligned and it's all lining up. And when you work with conviction, what happens is it opens you up to serendipity. So, brilliant coincidences, opportunities, conversations that can really help you achieve the things you want. When you work with conviction, things flow fast. So, when you have conviction, you tend to take more aligned action. And so the energy flow becomes smooth and fast with hardly anything holding it up. And so the things you're wanting start appearing a lot faster. So I'm going to give you an example. I actually decided between Christmas and New Year, I was kind of contemplating, what do I want from this year? What changes do I want? And I realized there were several areas in which I was not happy about the progress I've been making, and I just wanted to have a glow up in those areas. Really feel and see and experience those changes. And one of them was around health. And I just before Christmas saw the clinical pharmacist in my surgery for a blood pressure check. I don't have blood pressure problems, but my GP asked me to go, and I just went and had this appointment. And while I was talking to her, I was just asking for some advice around nutrition. And she said, "Oh, do you know, we have health and well-being coaches you can speak to." Great, said I. So I've had a referral to them. And this completely aligns with one of the areas I want to create a glow up in. And then from there, I found out about a program that's offered at Nuffield gyms via the NHS that I'm going to try and get a referral onto. And this is because this glow up, this conviction I have around health and the change I want to create is completely aligned. And each time I get inspiration, I'm taking action. And so something is happening with that. Each time I take action, more action can come forward, more serendipity can happen, more coincidences, more opportunities can present themselves. So tonight's subject, as I said, is called The Power of Processes and How to Help Create the Changes You Want. And actually, maybe I should have said how to hold up the changes you want, because these processes could also be called routines, are the things that help you stay aligned and help you stay high vibrational with the things you want to achieve. I see I have a viewer. Say hello if you're around. Can't see your name, unfortunately. Let me just bring it up on my phone. I kind of launched in and then I didn't even wait for you guys to see if I was live or not. Let me just go onto the page. So say hello if you're joining me. I can't see myself yet. Facebook might be doing funny things, but hopefully I will appear soon enough. Hello, Emily, my lovely. So, routines, processes and routines. What can you do to help you stay in alignment? Now, why would you want to stay in alignment? Because in the stability of alignment, magic can happen, momentum can build, opportunities can present themselves. Now, we're human. being a physical human, anything can upset your vibration. It can be waking up and having a sore shoulder. It can be a conversation or getting a letter that upsets you, or it could be the cancellation of something that you really had your mind and heart set on. There are lots of different things that can upset your vibration and your mood and make you think, oh, for God's sake, and feel frustrated. But what if there was a way that you could support yourself to stay high vibrational, to stay as even keel as possible? I'm not saying that you should never feel frustrated or angry or any of those things. That would not be human. And I think, frankly, you'd be a bit odd if you never experienced those emotions. But what you can do is have processes and routines that quickly bring you back into alignment. Okay. So, how do you start your day? Is a good place to start. Do you start your day by waking up and going straight onto social media? Or do you start your day by pausing for a minute and saying, it's a wonderful new day and there are lots of new opportunities for me, or words to that effect? Do you have a morning meditation or a morning piece of prose that you listen to? It could be a prayer, it could be something from scripture, it could be a TED talk, it could be a podcast. Is there something you can listen to in the mornings that really lifts you and fills you with excitement and reminds you of possibility and makes you think, ooh, yeah, this is going to be a good day with lots of great opportunities? Are there types of, in your morning routine, is there some gratitude journaling you need to do? 3 things that you're grateful for. Is that something you do? So, how are you setting up your morning and the rest of your day? Okay. Now, if you want to go straight onto social media, absolutely fine. That is your right because you have free will and you want to start your day there. That's not a problem. What I want you to think about is it setting up my vibration to be the best version of itself for that day? Now, some days you're going to be brilliant at holding your morning routine. And other days you are going to wake up, you've had a bad night's sleep, and you're like, oh, I just cannot be bothered and I want to do the social media thing. Fine, that's what you want to do. You have free will always. But what I will say is that if you can start cultivating a morning process that really works for you, yeah, that's lovely, Emily. That really works for you will find that it creates a different tone to your day. You'll find that your day starts off with a smile, with a feeling of life is good, a feeling of ease or relaxation, rather than that tense, I've got to get in the car and it's rush hour and all those things, or I've got to rush off and see someone or rush onto a Zoom or Teams call. You approach your day in a really different energy. And that energy is actually infectious because the people you interact with will feel your calm, your ease, your peace. You're cultivating it every time you do your morning routine. And so you might find that other people start reacting differently to you. Maybe they start giving you more solutions rather than being obstructive and difficult. Perhaps you'll find that unnecessary meetings suddenly start getting cancelled and gaps appear in your day, which allow you to focus on your work and do more of what you need to do in order to earn currency, to get that promotion, to change that job, whatever it is that you need to do. Okay. So, first of all, think about your morning routine. Now, for some of you, I haven't mentioned exercise. For some of you, exercise will be first thing, some of you it will be lunchtime, and some of you might be later in the day. When you do that exercise, are you doing it mindfully? And what is your intention behind that exercise you're doing? Doesn't matter what form of exercise. You could be doing yoga handstands, dancing, going for a run, walking the dog. It doesn't really matter. But if your intention is actually, I want to make my vibration as high as possible. I want to enjoy this. I want it to feel fulfilling. I want my body to really love this. I want every cell to be stretched and moved and mobility there. And I want them to enjoy it. You know, then if you're working with that intention, again, what happens is you are raising your vibration. And when you work that way in cooperation with your body around exercise and raising your intention, sorry, raising your vibration, you might find that your normal exercise routine has to change. So it could be that you're used to going for a hard run, like a real slog of a run, or you're used to going for a 4 mile walk with the dog. And this time, though, when you're thinking about doing that, you're thinking, actually, what I really want to do is a really lovely, slow stretching routine. That feels really good to me. And so, as you listen to your body, you align more and your vibration starts rising some more. Now, let's say you've had a bad day. So, you started off with your morning routine, it's been okay, you've been loving the day, and then someone does something or you experience something that really, really upsets you or puts you off, really spoils the mood. It might be a headline you've read, it might be a conversation you've had with a colleague, doesn't really matter, but it's really disturbed you. And as a result, your vibrations dropped and you might feel frustration or despondency, or you might feel real irritation or anger towards someone. Hi, Denise. So, what are your routines and processes that you have that will bring you back into alignment? Because when you are in alignment, as I said earlier, that's when the magic can happen, the serendipity, the coincidences, etc., can all start happening because you're holding your alignment. So what do you do? So what I tend to do, if someone, upsets me or whatever, the first thing I do is I notice my thoughts and I notice what's triggering that cycle of thoughts that can happen. And I distract my mind. So one of the ways I distract my mind is thinking about someone who I love and I start smiling and it stops that cycle of doom thoughts. It stops that, oh, that thing really annoyed me. And then I go into a whole spiel in my head. Another way to distract yourself when things are not feeling good and you want to move back into alignment is to play. And it could be with your dog, your cat, a small child. If you have a partner who's open to throwing a ball or a frisbee, or a child who's open to doing that, that also will loosen up your vibration and help you shake off any frustration you have. So those are some of the practical things, but then there's other things you can do that will help develop a really good routine and processes to help you hold yourself in alliance. What about visuals? Do you use visuals to remind you of your goals you want? Do you have beautiful words written? And actually, this morning, before I went off to my network, my business support group meeting, I caught a bit of this morning, which I never watch actually, but they were talking about the Free Prints app. So the Free Prints app offers you 45 prints a month, I think it is, completely for free. You pay for postage. And I thought, what a brilliant way to create a visual representation of the change you want. And then you could create visual representations of your routines and processes that support the change you want. So you have a giant vision board that's not just made up of your goals, but actually also made up of reminders of what processes will help to keep you in the zone, high vibrational, and achieving the things you want to. So you've got the visual ones. Then you've got the audio ones. So what do you listen to? Some of you will know, and I've said this before, I used to, for about 2 years, about 13 months, I listened to Everything is working out for me with by Abraham Hicks. I needed to do that. It was part of my morning routine. I would get up, I would have my shower, then I'd listen to that for 10 minutes. And sometimes I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times because I'd woken up and I'd had a worrying conversation and I was wobbling all over the place. Recently, I've been looking for a new meditation to listen to, and I was trying Joe Dispenza because, he's really interesting and really great, but it wasn't working for me, his morning meditation. So I was like, what can I listen to? What will feel good to me? And I was reminded of another Abraham Hicks. It's 10 minutes or 15 minutes long, and it's called Today. It's Another New Day. It starts, good morning. Today is a new day for opportunities. And as soon as I heard it, I began smiling. So that is also part of my routine. For those of you that have downloaded Emily's Me Helping Me app, or you have other apps like the Calm app or Headspace or whatever, are you using those audios to support your physical actions? So, to give you an example of my day, the way I start my day, and this is a new thing for me because it's linked to this glow up I want. I start my get up, I go for a shower, I then listen to a couple of Emily's energetic processes on her app, and then I'll finish that part of my morning with with an Abraham Hicks morning meditation. So the whole thing has probably taken maybe half an hour in total. Um, and that what that does is it just sets up my vibration in a really good place. Now the other thing that, and this is not linked to energy work in a way, but the other thing I've noticed that really is part of my routine, and I think this is really good if you are neurodivergent, is do you have routines and processes that help you to settle your mind and reduce the feeling of overwhelm? If you are frazzled, if you are burnt out, if you are recovering from adrenal burnout or any of those things, it's quite hard to get started because you have that freeze response working. And so, what do you think can help you just calm your brain down to a point where you feel like, okay, I can take a step towards whatever it is that you're trying to change for yourself? And so I have two things that I do that I find really useful. One is the night before, I make a list of the jobs I want to do for the following day. Now, the beauty of that is I don't have to remember those. And I have menopause brain at the moment. So half the time things disappear, never to be seen for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, you know. So for me, it takes a pressure off, okay? And it means when I wake up, after I've done my meditations, if I want to see what my jobs are, they're there waiting for me, and I know exactly what they are. But the second thing that I have found, and this has been really sort of post pandemic, but I found this really useful, is to do some tidying. Now, it can be anything. It can be sorting out laundry. It can, and putting it away. It can be making the bed and, just sort of giving the curtains a bit of a kind of shake up or whatever. It could be unloading and reloading the dishwasher. Doesn't really matter what the thing is, but what it does is it gives my brain a chance just to calm down and feel less overwhelmed by the fact of I've got a whole day ahead of me. Okay. So I want you to think about the practical routine. So we've got the energetic stuff where I've talked about meditations and things like that. We've got audios that you can listen to or music you can listen to. We've got exercise that you can do. And then you have, of course, the practical routines such as putting things in your calendar the night before, and then also, cleaning around the house. You might find standing outside in the garden for 10 minutes is what you need to do as part of your routine before you sit down to work or before you start something. It doesn't, I'm talking about work, but it doesn't have to be work. It could be you want to declutter something. Well, before you do that, and that's part of your desire for change in your surroundings. You maybe want to move house or just create more space in your existing house. But you know what? Decluttering, while it sounds great, that mess it creates can be really overwhelming and really exhausting. So you might decide, yeah, I think I just need to stand outside and connect to nature and feel the grass under my feet, or watch my breath freeze on the fog as I breathe out, breathe in and out, and connect to the energy in my tummy. There are these kind of routines that are really simple that can help get your brain in a place where it can then move forward with the jobs that you've got written down. And then I think, so we've got a mixture of things. And if you have a routine like that, I would love to hear about it, because it's really good to hear how other people do stuff, and then you can mix and match a little bit. Some days, my routine has consisted of my morning sort of meditations, and then I come down and I want to do some work, and I can feel my brain is sort of all over the place. And so for me, it's sketching or doing a bit of art or a bit of colouring, just nothing specific, just random colouring, will help to calm my brain down enough for me to do work. That is also part of my routine. So remember, in these routines and processes, you want to allow some flexibility so you have different choices. I've got a rebounder, so it might be that one morning I might want to wake up and jump on my rebounder before I've done anything else, because that's what my physical body wants. It depends on the goals you're trying to create and the change you're trying to achieve. But with all of these things, if you can have routines and processes that support that desire and help you make the changes, you are more likely to achieve them. Emily, put a million before the start down the app. Yeah, I know there are three to choose from actually, Emily. I've seen them. For me at the moment, that's not where I'm being called. There's something about that specific Abraham one that's right for me. But for anyone else who's got the app, definitely have a look, because what a wonderful way to set your energy, when you're listening to these energetic processes that ground you and help you feel really good. If you have any questions or you would like a higher self reading, I will put a link in the comments. If you watch this on replay, please use the hashtag replay, and I would love to hear what routines and processes you bring in. Emily's already talked about going for dog walks. How can you build on that, Emily, would be my question to you. And remember that routines and processes can really help you overcome those moments of doubt, those moments of this is not working, those moments of I don't know what to do and I feel all alone and I feel completely stuck and frustrated. Processes and routines can really help move you through those. So, sending you all lots of love. Have a fabulous week. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.